Welcome back. If you have questions regarding estate planning or elder law, David L. Carrier can help you out with all of that. Today he's joining me to talk about the Medicaid crisis planning situation. Thank you for being here.
And who doesn't have questions about elder law?
And it seems so far off. You know, I'm not even 40 yet. It seems like something I shouldn't worry about. But we all really need to start thinking about this.
Right. Well, when we say crisis, what we're talking about is if you have a loved one in long-term care. One of the frustrating things is how many times someone will be in the long-term care situation. And I know it sounds weird. See, I mean, here's the thing. So mom or dad, grandma, in your case, you know, goes into a assisted living or nursing home, what have you. You know, is your first thought, ooh, I better call the lawyer. It's like, what am I calling the lawyer for? Are you kidding me? But really, that's when you need to make the call. When the money starts going out the door. You know, now we do all the workshops, don't get me wrong, and pre-planning, of course, is the best way to do it. The sooner you get planning, the better off you are, and there's some of our workshops. But the key is, if you do have folks who are in long-term care now, whether it's a spouse. I was at a concert at Meyer Gardens just a few weeks ago, and the people we're sitting next to have a loved one in long-term care. And the husband is telling me, oh, you're that guy with the Medicaid stuff. I say, yes, I am. And he says, well, you know, that stuff doesn't work. Government won't let you do that. And I'm like, well, you know, tell several thousand families that we've served already that it does. Sure. But, you know, there definitely is this attitude or I don't know what it is, but it's an idea that this stuff is too good to be true. Right. It doesn't really work, et cetera, et cetera. All I can say is it doesn't cost you anything, and until we can demonstrate the results. You know, pick up the phone, give us a call, because that's where the tragedy comes. Because yeah, planning ahead is the best thing you can do. There's no question about that. You know, especially now you've got a little one.
Yes, I do.
Got to be planning ahead for that. But when we've got people in crisis, you know, you've got someone in you're writing the $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 check every month. You know, why wouldn't it take a little bit of time? Call us. I mean, we've been down this road thousands of times.
What types of things should they have in order? Saying they have a family member or a loved one that they know the time is coming for this situation. It's going to happen eventually, right? Right. People know they can't take care of them in the family. What kind of ducks should they have in a row as far as paperwork, planning, any of that stuff?
Right. Well, what I always say is you don't have to have anything in place before you call, right? I mean, don't be thinking, oh, if I don't have these things in place, they'll think I'm a dummy, or they'll think I'm not prepared. We don't care. Right. I mean, call us, right? Because we've got a whole system to set up to organize all that stuff. But when you're thinking in the pre-plan, right? I mean, we just got the diagnosis. Good time to call, right? Because there are certain legal documents that need to get in place so that you or the designee, whoever it is, can move the house around, can do all kinds of stuff. It's just, it's one of those things where it is so frustrating when people come in when they're flat broke, and then they say, oh, you know, what can you do for us now? And the answer is, well, we can get you on that. We'll do the paperwork. We can do all that, sure. But, you know, geez, if you were here a year ago, 2 years ago, when you first started doing this, there's just so much more we can do.
Well, you know, plus the loved one needs to be in the right set of mindset, right? To sign the documents and do things like that, right?
Not necessarily.
No?
I mean, there's still, see, here's the thing. Would that be better? Sure, it'd be better.
Yeah.
But what if we don't? Never give up. Never give up. Never just say, oops, there's nothing we can do. Oh, it happened to Uncle Charlie that way, I guess that's the way. Oh, it happened to the neighbor that way, I guess it's just the way it has to go. That isn't true. There's always something that can be done, and the sooner you act on it, the better off you're going to be.
Okay, let's go ahead and throw those workshops back up there before we go ahead and talk about how great your staff is about paying it forward to the community. But always some workshops are taking place. You guys are basically serving all sorts of areas of West and Southwest Michigan now, right?
Well, you know, we've got the 4 offices in Norton Shores, then Holland, then down in Portage. So we've got that covered, plus the mothership, the home office in here in Grand Rapids. But what we found is that when we go to smaller communities, there's an awful lot of folks there who won't make the drive, you know, oh, the big city or what have you. So we're doing a lot more at Grand Haven, Fremont, you know, Greenville. We're just really trying to reach out to make it more accessible.
And you have visiting experts that come to these as well?
Yeah. Well, the visiting experts are a lot of fun. With the visiting experts, here we have people who are, maybe they're in real estate, maybe they're in maybe they're in funeral planning, maybe it's Social Security. We do a lot of that's a very popular one.
Sure.
We even have the Botox lady from Skin Envy
Yes,
comes in.
who's seen on our show.
Yeah. So what we're trying to do every single week is to bring in somebody, because we've got this great space. Why not use it?
Yeah.
Right? To keep our folks, keep our families involved, so that if something comes up, hey, the lawyer is not such a scary, scary thing.
Yeah.
It's just part of. We just did we had our. Something that I'm really into is the old cars. I have a couple of old '56 Chevys, and so I've wanted to do a classic car cruise in for a long time. Oh, we finally did it. We had about a dozen old cars there, so
I love that.
stuff like that.
And real
goofy
quick,
stuff.
we're running out of time, but I want
sorry.
to point out that you guys stepped in when the tornadoes rolled through. You went to Hugs Ranch and helped
Right.
out.
Hugs Ranch is a place where they teach disabled kids, autistic kids, what have you, how to ride horses and whatnot. It was a rainy day, a rainy Saturday, the week following the Twisters, and we had called it off. Actually, we were all heading in at 8. We were going to be there from 8 to noon, but we had called it off because it was raining.
Yeah.
And I already had a bunch of stuff in my truck, so I was like, hey, I'm going anyway. And guess what? When I show up, everybody's there.
Oh, good.
Nobody turned around.
Good.
The rain let up a little bit, and so you're seeing we're chopping up the fallen trees. We stacked about a cord of firewood there.
Good.
And then this weekend, of course, is the Walk to End Alzheimer's, Millennium Park. Just really, really committed to that. We call it Carrier's Cavalry.
Yep.
And if you show up, come to our photo booth, and we'll give you a T-shirt, and you can
Perfect.
walk with us.
Great.
But it's really the Walk to End Alzheimer's. I got to tell you, it's really amazing. It's an amazing
Looking
event.
forward to that. All right, thank you so much
Great.
for stopping by.
Thank
Once
you,
again,
Leanne.
there are the locations of the Life Plan workshops. Go ahead and check those out and get some questions answered that if you don't have them, someone else might have them, and you'll learn from them. How about that?